So I moved into my new apartment recently and noticed pretty quickly that it feels, well, quite empty. Since I got this little room between my kitchen and bathroom, which also happens to be the room I work in, I thought it would be a good idea to get some life into it. LEDs seemed like the obvious choice since they were easy to install, cheap, and make for some great looks. So without wasting any time, I went into Fusion and modeled a channel for the lights to be placed in, and some more or less fitting diffusers so the single pixels won't be too annoying later on. After 3D printing the first batch, I noticed that just glue alone won't hold them together, so I printed some small connectors for them to stay aligned. Who would have guessed? They were way too fucking weak and snapped as soon as I didn't hold either one with my hands. After careful considerations, aka a spontaneous trip to the hardware store, I decided to go with threaded rods as a form of stabilization. M6 seemed like the sweet spot between somewhat stable and somewhat fitting into my design, as I didn't want to create something too blocky. So this seems to be the final design for now, and I'm mostly pretty happy with it. I know it's not the prettiest, but I can work with it. I spray painted the casing later that day since I'm pretty sure we can all agree that marble and brown don't look good together, especially not for some LEDs. Now it was time to install those monstrosities in the wall, which took maybe 3 minutes, 4 nails, and a lot of hope that they won't fall down. I watched it for maybe 20 seconds and then decided that nothing will ever take the thing from the wall, so on to the next step. First I installed WLED on the ESP32, which is the most common choice for this kind of project, but you can't go wrong with it unless you apply way too much current onto the VN pin and destroy the USB port, which obviously would never happen to me. I also used the most popular LED strip, the WS2812B, as my choice for lighting, since I had some of it lying around and I have had great experiences with it. I did a quick soldering session on the LED strip, the ESP and the power supplies so that everything will be powered appropriately. I used a highly accurate method to measure the cables, which professionals refer to as eyeballing, and it resulted in me having the power lines being cut way too long, but they're all hidden lying around on the floor, so who cares. Now you will see the worst kind of cable rounding ever done to mankind, but it's covered from my view by the huge cutout in the wall, so I don't care too much apart from my landlord when they see what I did to the precious house. Now I just printed some cable holders to hold the cables, hammered them into the wall, and my work of art was done. For the end, I will show you a couple clips of this strip in action.